Good.
And we're live. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with myself, Paul from Host the Ghosts, Andrew from South Coast Ghost, here for Paranation event, and Luke from all of us, all three of us. I
Yeah,
think. Oh, Luke just gone in the dark. So spirit's there with Luke now. Let's turn the lights
yeah,
off. So
but
it must realise you're trying to save your money, Luke.
yeah, no, yeah,
You must have Ebenezer Scrooge there doing your light switch.
yeah,
Welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live. We have an event coming up this Saturday. Yay! Can't wait to get there, see what that's like. So we'll all be there as a team. Um, on tonight, we've got Angela, who had a regression done, and she's going to tell us a bit about the regression and how it went, and who she was, and all the notes. I'm sure Angela's got it all written down, and then we can chat about the up and coming event on Saturday from Julia and myself and Luke. Are you going Saturday, Luke?
yeah,
Cool, cool. I think it'll be a good event in the old theatre. They're normally quite lively, aren't they? Normally.
You've never done this one before, have you, Paul?
No, I've never done this one, so I'm quite well looking forward to it. And I'll bring the new toy, the tripwire, the laser tripwire. We can have a play with, see whether that works or not.
Yeah, I hope it.
But
I hope it does.
yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You could leave it down anywhere, and if it gets tripped over, like the laser gets broke, it bleeps. So hopefully that'll work, and we'll have some good activity there. I'm sure we will. We normally do wherever we go. It's a great team, the great events we go to. So what we'll do then, we'll start with Angela that went for past life regression. Really interesting story. It's I think Angela's asked the lady if she wants to come on one Monday night and have a chat.
Mhm.
So if you're watching this or on catch up, think of some questions and we'll get her on when she's ready. So she can chat and you can ask her questions about past life regression or questions about whatever if you like. I'm sure she'll answer it.
Yeah.
She's a really nice lady, isn't she, Angela?
Yeah. She's very very friendly and approachable, and she's been doing this for I don't know about 30 years or so. So she
Wow.
knows what she's doing. Yeah.
So hopefully you can get Andrew to arrange to get the lady come on. So
Mhm.
send in your questions and or come on the night, ask the questions, and I'm sure she'll answer your questions for you. So we're all looking forward to hearing Angela's story. I'm not sure how long was you there, Angela, having it done?
I think the whole session lasted about an hour because I recorded it, and when I stopped it, it just gone over the hour. And but there was like a little discussion beforehand to see what I was expecting and wanted to get out of it, and then a little discussion afterwards on what just happened. So altogether, I was
Excellent.
there nearly 2 hours. So
Bargain.
oh yeah,
It's got to be done, isn't it?
yeah,
So if we hand over to Angela, she's going to go through, bits and pieces, obviously personal stuff she won't go through, but she'll give us a broad outline of how it went and what she got, and anything personal won't be mentioned on here. So over to you, Angela.
okay. Um, I'm not really sure why I wanted to do the session. I think it's just because I'd heard a lot about it and read a lot about it, and I just thought I don't know anyone that's really done one, so I thought I'd do it myself and see what it's like. And I think the one thing I was sort of secretly hoping for was to go to the place like in between lives because I'd listened to an audio book on that and that just sounded amazing. And I thought, "Oh, okay, I'd like to experience that bit." But obviously, I sort of kept an open mind as to what could possibly happen. Molly, go away. Sorry, the dog. Because she said to me beforehand, like, what was I expecting from this or what did I want to happen? And I said, I'm just open to whatever wants to come and come through, just to come through and just roll with it, really. And so it sort of started with me just sitting nice and relaxed in a chair. And then she did like the hypnosis bit to sort of get me relaxed and my mind sort of calm and everything. And then she said to sort of be aware of my surroundings and to look down at like the floor and my footwear, see what I was wearing. And that's where sort of like the pictures started coming into my head. And I wouldn't say it was like watching a film, it was more like watching just one sort of scene from a show or something. I could only see like one scene, I suppose. And I looked down and I could see these sort of old leathery brown boots, like the sort of slouchy ones, and then tucked into them were these sort of raggedy trousers. And I don't know what else, what like was from waist height upwards. But I remember there's this little girl in front of me and she was sort of happily dancing around, and she had on this it was like a pretty dress, but it wasn't a particularly clean dress. It was seemed to be something that she wore like daily and just to muck around in, but it was like really pretty. And she had quite long brown hair, which was a bit sort of ringlety or curly, and she was just sort of really happy and smiley and like bright blue eyes and just sort of dancing around. And I don't know who I was, but I got the feeling that I was male and that I was this little girl's grandfather. I couldn't hear anything. There wasn't sounds, but I was just sort of watching. And in the background, there was like some little cottages, and the ground was sort of like a dirt ground, I suppose, and with some trees, and it was a bit like a farmy sort of place. And that's all I managed to get from that. So I don't know. I don't think
Did
that
you
was far away. I mean, a couple of 100 years ago or something.
say, did you a date, or did you recognise anywhere that you were in it? Did you recognise it?
No, I didn't recognise anything. Yes, Jack. And then she took me on sort of up and out of that bit, and then asked me what I could see now. And the next one, I felt like I was in a royal courtroom, and I could see like some royal family members, and it seemed to be some kind of what's the word I used? Yeah, some kind of formal event. I don't know if it was a wedding or a knighting of somebody, but there was a lot of people in their sort of like really posh sort of clothes, and the ceremony was sort of taking place in front of me but facing that way, and I was looking on from the side and there was people the other side. And I remember she asked me if I was like an invited guest there or I was just looking, and I said no, I'd been invited, and I felt like I worked for the royalty, like I was a messenger or something. And what did I say? Yeah, and I would travel around in a cart, sort of delivering messages to here, there, and everywhere. And this felt like it was a quite a bit longer ago, maybe about the 16th century, something like that. And again, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear like voices or music or anything. And then I thought, oh, I'll take a look around. And I remember looking to my left, and there was this really pretty woman dressed in like a nice royal blue sort of dress. I think she had sort of something in her hair, and she smiled down at me. I must have been quite short. And again, I felt like I was a male, and she held my hand, and I thought that must be my wife. And so that was that one. So I don't know who I was then or anything. I didn't get any names or anything. It was all really just like turning the TV over and what's happening in this scene, and you don't really know what's going on because it's such a sort of short thing.
So you were in a church? Were you actually inside a church?
Um,
Or was it like a royal court sort of thing?
it was quite a big building. I don't know if it was maybe a cathedral. It's sort of
Oh, right.
room. Yeah, it was big, but I don't know what was going on. I know there was something formal and you were just sort of standing there and being quiet and just watching what was happening. But I don't know what it was. Yeah.
Did you
And then
recognise anybody when you looked around? Did you recognise?
No, I remember she asked me if, like when I was looking at the little girl and the other woman, if they looked familiar, like somebody I knew in this life. But I can't say that they looked like anyone I knew or could remember.
But you may meet them now. This may have unlocked something.
Yeah. And she also said bits might sort of come back to me randomly in dreams or just sort of going about my business, and then, or I could go into meditation and see if I could sort of get back there and get more details. Or if I want to have another session in the future, I said, would I go back to those same ones and sort of learn more about it? And she said I might do, or I might go to completely different ones. So
Wow.
because you don't know how many you've got, really.
No. So the woman standing next to you in the royal blue dress, you didn't recognise her, but she felt friendly and
Yeah, she sort of looked down at me, and smiled, like,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Could you have been a child in that one?
No, I wasn't a child.
Okay.
No. Well, I didn't feel like I was a child anyway.
I was just thinking of the height difference and.
Yeah. No, I think I was just a short little man.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
You said about not hearing anything. Did you smell anything?
Oh, no, it was just seeing things.
Was it in colour or black? Oh, it was in colour because you said about the blue dress.
Yeah, it was definitely colour. Yeah.
Wow.
And then after that, she was trying to get me to go to another life, but it's difficult to describe what I was sort of experiencing. But I felt like I wasn't. I suppose this is what I was wanting, but I felt like I wasn't in a body, and I was just sort of. I felt like I was floating around, but not as a person, just like a something, just floating and kind of.
Could be a spirit, I suppose.
Yeah, I was trying to sort of get into something, but it's like I wasn't being allowed to. It's like, no, you have to be here now. I was like, okay, I'll just go with this. And I was just sort of floating there, and I couldn't see anything. It's like I wasn't allowed to see where I was or what was going on. And then I just had this sort of overwhelming feeling of love. Like, I can't really describe it. It's just like so much love. And I just sort of started crying. And then I said, it felt like I was being hugged and that someone was holding my hand. And this lasted for about 5, maybe 10 minutes. I was just sort of happy just to be there and have this lovely feeling. And I still wasn't allowed to see anything, but it's just like, oh, this is lovely. And then after the session, she said to me, when I was in that space, she felt someone next to her, because the side of her face went all sort of tingly. I think so the top of her head went tingly as well. And she said that whoever it was said that they were really proud of me. What they said, they had like feelings of great pride for me. They're really proud of me. And she said,
Darren there, couldn't he, watching you and thinks he's
proud of you. Smelt like cigarette smoke. And I thought, well, Darren did smoke, but then he gave up, and then he was vaping.
That's right, yeah.
And I thought, well, the only other person that I remember smoking was my mum. So I asked her if it was a male or a female. She says, oh, no, it was definitely male. So I thought, well, that wasn't my mum then, was it?
Yeah.
So,
wow.
And he was very much into past life regression and that sort of thing, wasn't he? So
yeah. Wow. So that's an experience then.
Yeah.
Did you come back all right, or did she struggle to get you back out of this wherever you were floating?
No, I came back all right. I was sort of a bit reluctant to, but I thought, well, I can't stay here forever, can I?
No,
I want to stay.
because you were
Oh,
happy where
wow.
you were. That's what it is, isn't it? You felt
Yeah.
contented and loved and happy. That's what it is.
Mm.
And what do you think you got out of that?
Well, I want to do it again. And I want to see if I can get back to those places again and sort of find out more, or
Yeah.
if there are any other places I can go back to. But yeah, it's very. I would recommend everyone even just have a go once, just to experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Oh, I
see if-
definitely will. I definitely will have a go myself.
I'd
Mm.
like to. I'd like to as well.
You know, I think you sort of be sort of mind blown by what the stuff that comes through, won't you?
Yeah.
And
I
did
was
she make notes and all of that, or did she just
Yeah.
record it?
She made my little notes there,
Oh well,
and then I also recorded it. I haven't listened to it again. I
yeah,
thought I might listen to it again just in case when I was in that wherever I was bit,
Yeah.
the between lies bit, if there's anything I can hear, like if someone else was there, and if I could hear if they said anything to me or something.
maybe when you read it, that you may end up going back there, like a meditation.
Yeah.
You may end up going back there because maybe there's something in the notes that's a trigger.
Yeah, could be.
And
But
sometimes there's messages in the notes, isn't there? Really, and we don't see it because we don't
Yeah.
look for it.
Yeah. What I was kind of expecting was when you sort of see things on telly about it, and they're sort of laying in the chair, and then they sort of turn into this person that they were previously, and they have like a different accent, or they're like act completely different and talk different. So I thought I'd be maybe like turning into somebody different, like
Yeah.
playing out as I was then. But it was just sort of watching and just describing what I could see and what I was experiencing.
Hmm.
Well,
But
maybe you were just meant to see rather than hear.
Yeah.
So
So if I tried it again, I might see if I can hear things or smell things or.
that'd be the interesting. Whoever goes next or whatever, gives them an idea to try and hear, listen, see if you could smell something, touch something.
Yeah.
Did you try touching anything? The little girl that was dancing in front of you, or?
No, but I got this. I kind of felt that when I turned round to the woman, like in the royal courtroom bit, and she held my hand, I was sort of aware that she was holding my hand. And then also
Wow.
when I was in the in between bits, I felt like I remember my hand was on the arm of the chair, and I was kind of like squeezing the arm of the chair, like I was squeezing somebody's hand.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that sort of what you expected? Is that what you wanted, or did you want more?
I don't know. I suppose I would have liked a bit more sort of detail and a bit more clarity, because I'm still sort of none the wiser on who I was really. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was my first one. I didn't really know what was going to happen. Maybe I was.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it's your first one, you're nervous, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's whether you really go fully under. Does that make sense, or does that sound silly?
I didn't feel like I was fully under, just like I was sort of daydreaming, really, but
Right.
sort of like a guided daydream, kind of.
So maybe the second time, if you go back again, you'll go slightly deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Maybe.
find it difficult to go like deep under into when people try to like hypnotize me when we've been doing our courses. They could never get me to sort of like properly go under. My head's always thinking, I don't know, just stopping me from doing it.
Yeah. I suppose it's that uncertainty, isn't it? Am I doing the right thing here? Is this right? Or I suppose if you're asking yourself the question, they can put you away, but it just can't drop you into that deep sleep or deep stuff because you're fighting to go that deep. So maybe the second time, if you go back again, that it may be different
Mm.
because you think, well, first time was really lovely. I really loved it. Maybe
Yeah.
second time I'll go a little bit more deeper.
Yeah, then I might be able to hear things then. And
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, whether the smell, the touch, the hearing, the sight,
Yeah.
whatever comes as you go slightly deeper.
Yeah.
Maybe it was enough for you skirting the edges,
Mm.
and then at the end where you were floating there, and whoever came in, and we all know who it's going to be that's come in and give you a squeeze and a hug.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not allowed to see that side of what goes on.
Yeah, I
Hence
did.
why it's black.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of, if I went to that bit, then I was kind of expecting that from what I'd read before. They weren't allowed to sort of see what was happening, but they could sort of know in other ways what was going on.
You were that deep, and suddenly one of your loved ones appeared in front of you while you were that deep. It would be quite scary, I think. I don't know whether you think, whoa,
Was it my
that type
time? They've come for me.
well, yeah, I mean, that's mad, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that, and I spoke to Darren numerous times about regression, and he knew so much about it,
Mm.
and he kept saying, yeah, I'll do that for you, I'll take you there. But
Mm.
obviously we never got round to it. But some of the things that I seem to know, I don't know how I know.
Mm.
I don't know about anybody else here. It's like military. I
Yeah.
know so much about the military, and yet I've never been in the military.
Mm.
And I just don't understand how. I just don't know, and it just does my mind in trying to think. Well, how do I know what tank that is? How would I know what plane? And why would I this and this, that, and the other? And the
Yeah.
story about D-Day. I was telling you the other week.
Mm.
How would I? I just don't know. It's mind blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whether I go back and I'm something to do with a pilot, or I'm something on the ground, or I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that went well and you enjoyed it. So you'll be
Yeah.
going back to the next one then.
I want to. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing might be because I didn't know this woman, so
Yeah, trust, isn't it?
yeah, I didn't know. I got a good feeling from her, but because it was like the first time, it's like, can I trust her with like what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Fine. So I think if I did it again, I'd be a lot more sort of relaxed and know what was going to happen, what she's going to say, and how it would go.
Like you say, it's that uncertainty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? What's going to happen? And so, would you have it done, Julia? Would you something you do?
I would. Yes, I would. Yeah, very intriguing. I would love to go and have it done.
Have you heard any inkling of anything like, as obviously through your life, that you think, well, like I got this thing for the army and the air force and the navy, and have you ever had anything like that?
Yeah, I think lots of like bombing, airplanes going overhead and bombing. London, South London. I think it's South London. Little girl called Kate. I can see her house. I can look up the house, and all I can see is like smog. You can't see there's clouds or anything like that. It's all, you can't even see the top of the roof of the houses or anything. So you don't know whether that's like a guardian angel or whether it is something a bit more. But I used to have some awful nightmares about the war, and I didn't know anything really about the war. So yeah,
Did you think
it'd
you
be
might have
very
been
interesting.
in the war?
No, I think I was probably just sort of like somebody in a house and there was bombs coming down around me. So yeah.
Wow. And has this come to you in dreams, or did you just know?
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah. Sort of in dreams really. But I just think the whole thing is just really interesting, and that if I do go into like past life regression, I might be somebody completely different. You just don't know, do you, until you go and have it done. So but yeah, I'd be very interested.
It's quite exciting, really, isn't it, to know, why I've got these man boobs. I could have been a woman in a previous life, maybe. you know, it's like you say, I just don't know how I know these things. I don't read about the war. I never have done. I just don't know. I really just don't know. It does my head in really. Because I'll say, "Oh, Jen, look at that plane," and she say, "How do you know what it is?" Oh, I don't know, and I don't know, but I know what it is. So who
Mm.
knows? Who knows? How about yourself, Paula? What would you do that? And what would you? And have you had any
Well,
premonitions or anything
I've been
coming up?
hypnotised. I've been hypnotised before, and I do go under quite deep. So, thing is, it's like like Andrew was saying, you've got to have a trust in somebody. And the person that hypnotized me, I knew her because my sister used to go to her. So then I had that trust. So when I was hypnotized, then I was fine. Do you know what I mean? But like you say, if you don't know somebody, you're not going to go deep under, you're not going to feel relaxed. So where I knew this woman basically through my sister, I just sat there relaxed and went straight under. But it took me ages to get back out again, though.
You go to the sort of same place like Angela did, where she was just Angela. Do you think you were just a ball of energy floating, or
Yeah,
just
that's what it felt like. Yeah. Pardon?
Yeah.
how did you feel? Like a ball of energy, like a person just floating, or
Yeah, just like a little ball with like not tentacles, but just kind of like all flowing outwards, and it was
Yeah.
just weird.
how about you, Paula? Did you have a similar sort of thing to that?
No, because basically she had music round her, and she had I always remember lavender for something enough. Basically, she always had lavender, to burnt lavender sticks and everything else. Put me in a chair, I'd lay back and everything else, and then she would literally say, "Right, literally close your eyes." She used to say to me, and I'm going to count down slowly. And then she said, "And when I count back up again, we'll get to 10, and I'll click my fingers, you snap out of it." So she was saying to me. So when she was counting downwards, basically, I went under. She'd think of something basically that you really like to be at, basically, which was like the beach. That's why I like to be at the beach or the countryside. So I thought of the beach basically. And she said, "Right, think of that picture." And then she said, "Right, clear your mind." So I told her to clear my mind. And then she started counting down. And the thing is that when you giggle, which I did quite a few times, it's because you're going under, which I didn't know this.
Huh.
Because when she was doing it, I thought, "Oh, yeah, it's gonna be," when you sit there, you think they're not really gonna go under, do you? That's the thing. You think, "Oh, they're pretending." But when she did it, I was going down, I giggled and everything else. I thought, "Yeah, okay." And I remember her being round me and her talking to me. That's what I can remember. But I was really right under, and I was remember being sitting there looking at the water, the beach, and seeing the stones, and I could feel the stones where I was. That's how deep it was, basically. But first
Mm.
thing is weird because first thing she tells you to do is that you have to go down some steps. So you go down these steps and then you open the door and then you're in the beach. That's what you have to do basically. So that's what I had to get my mindset to literally go down these stairs and then open the door to get to this beach. And I just sat there and then I had to go through the process of what I didn't want to face basically. But when I did
Right.
face something I didn't want to face, I cried like crying, I was stressed and everything else. And then I thought, no, I can't be at this place. And then she told me it's like, okay, step back, come back from where you are, basically, which I did, but I couldn't get out of it. That was a problem. I didn't want to be in the situation I was in. But the thing is, like she was saying, because I was where I was, I didn't want to go any further where I was. I literally stepped myself back and then said, "No, I can't take this no more." And I started crying again. And then she'd right, okay, on a count backwards. So she started counting up to like 10, and then she clicked her fingers and got me out. But it took me a long time. It seemed like forever being in that place. So I think if I did go under, like you say, I'll probably go down for a long time and think it seems forever. Because it's like when you do Julia does the pendulum on me and anything else, I'll relax myself and if it and close my eyes and I just literally drift off. And I don't know what people saying behind me or what you're saying because I'm just relaxing and just going wherever I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of
And
people
Yeah.
say that though when they do the pendulum, that when we say, "Oh, we got this through," or "We got that through," they're like, it's like they're sort of like, because they're just like that with their head down, their eyes closed, and they're sort of like, I couldn't hear anything. I was just, being
No.
like pulled here, pulled
Yeah.
there, and yeah.
Yeah. You do. You just feel
I've never
something.
been
Yeah.
the pendulum, so
Yeah, it's good. You have to do it because it is good. It's good sensation. But do you know what I mean? You just feel it's weird because you feel something backwards and forwards. Do you know what I mean? Going backwards and forwards, and like if somebody's like connected to me, I feel like tingling in my hands. Do you know what I mean? And somebody's trying to touch me. Depends on different ones it's been. Do you know what I mean? Like before, if I felt people touch me on the well, that child that time touched me on the knee, the current sensation, then somebody holding my hand. So it's like it's a weird sensation, really, like tingling sensation, and my hand goes cold. But yeah,
I suppose spirit have to be that close to move, to make you
Yeah.
move, don't they? Because they've
yes,
got to come into your energy to
Yeah.
give you that way backwards and forwards. So it's
I think
obviously powerful, isn't it?
I think the first time when I did it, I was a bit stressed, thinking, "Oh crap!" Do you know what I mean? Thinking, "Oh, I've never done this before. I don't know if I want the blinking person touching me. Do you know what I mean? The ghost touching me and everything else." And I thought, "Stop be silly. Take a deep breath." Do you know what I mean? They're not going to hurt you. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, "Oh," and then my heart was racing quite fast because you're getting nervous, thinking, "Oh God," do you know what I mean? And then I relaxed. And because I think the first time, like with Angie doing what she was doing, you know what I mean, being under anything else, where she didn't know that woman and anything else, it's somebody you don't know, you just don't. It's in that kind of thing, isn't it? Not knowing.
Yeah, it's that point of uncertainty again. So when you're a human pendulum, can you actually hear the questions?
No,
You don't hear anything.
no. I'll switch off basically because I don't listen round me. So it's
Yeah.
nothing basically because I literally close down, basically shut off, and it's like I'm asleep really basically because I don't listen round me. I just literally feel myself going backwards and forward. That's it. I don't know what you guys are saying because I've switched off. And like last time with that woman came in for house that poisoned them children that you said about basically last time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what was being said, but I felt the woman basically getting a bit, I suppose, a bit stressy, I suppose, or wanted to say something because my heart started racing, which I didn't have that before. Started racing and everything else, and like she wanted to get something out. Do you know what I mean? So a sensation I felt. So whatever she wanted to say, basically, because using me to get it out, basically, and you was asking all these questions, she wanted to say something.
But that was at Wimmery Manor when we did that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That when I think me and Julia were in the circle, and it was quite strong, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that was the one I felt really, really strong was at the old convent, Julia, with that woman. It's really difficult to hold
Yeah.
on to, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, I tried my best, but I just thought I just can't. She's just she's being pushed so hard that I didn't want, to sort of like lose. And I was like really sort of like trying to keep my foot in when I was trying to. So that's why I asked Paul to step in because he's a lot taller than me, a lot stronger than me. But I didn't want this woman to just go, and I wasn't strong enough to hold her up. But yeah, that was really strong.
Yeah,
Really
that's
strong.
probably one of the strongest ones
Mm.
I've been to. The Wimmery Manor one I found really interesting because we were trying to find out why she was there, wasn't it? And she'd poisoned the children, wasn't it? Was that the one?
Yeah. Because I
Right.
remember you saying afterwards, well, the bits and pieces on live here saying about that she poisoned some kids or something, but she didn't mean to or something, wasn't it? Or something like that.
That's probably what she was trying to get out, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
You
But
know,
the thing is, you got to think. Is I suppose you got to think as well. Is that maybe she's never connected to somebody before, and this is the first chance she's tried to contact somebody, and we've done a pendulum. Maybe nobody else has done a pendulum there before.
true.
And it's, you know what I mean, and she's wanted to say something, and because we've listened to her, and that's why she connected probably.
It's very, very strong. You know, the questions and Julia was firing questions in all the time. You know, and the answers were coming straight back. So it's
Mm.
definite full-on contact. It was really, really interesting, that one.
Yeah.
Felt her come into the circle. I kept saying, there's a lady here, and I felt her coming in. I don't know how, but I know she was there to give a message, but
You
know
kept
how.
forgetting Elsa throughout the day leading up to the event. Was it Elsa? What was that?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? You
Elsa,
did,
Ellen?
Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen.
Because I had the name halfway through Saturday morning, the name Ellen in my head. Remember, I came in and said I've had a name. We might be
Yeah.
looking at an Ellen or an Ella. Ellen,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Eleanor,
And when I
wasn't it?
went,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Ellen, You know,
Yeah.
then she came. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so clever, aren't they? When they can
Yeah.
sort of give you a name in your head before you've even been anywhere there. And that would have been my first time at Wimmering Manor anyway.
Yeah.
You know, for Spirit to give you that name before you'd even got there.
They know who's going. They know who's coming.
Yeah, they're very clever, aren't they? It's just amazing. Is there anything out? Any questions, Angela? Or
No.
it's all quiet tonight? Is there anything else you want to add, Angela? Or
I've covered everything that happened.
what an amazing journey then.
It was good.
How about you, Luke?
Yeah, I'd like to try it. Hopefully, in the next few months, I'd like to try it.
And have you had anything leading up? You know things about things that you don't know. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, does it? It's been a long day. Long day at work.
I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I was like born the same. That I was born the day after he died, and I have a birthmark on my head, which is relatable to how he died as well.
Who is that?
I know it sounds stupid, but I don't know if it's stupid or not.
It's never stupid, mate. It's never
No.
stupid. Who was it? Who do you think you were?
Well, I'm not sure if I was. Just sounds like Kurt Cobain, I think.
All right, the guitar player, isn't he?
Yeah,
Nirvana.
yeah. Because
So what you think you may have been him?
I didn't realise the bit on my head was a birthmark until recently, and then it's kind of clicked and made sense.
Right. And
I was
what else have you had, though?
I was born the day after he died on the same year as well.
Oh.
Really?
And when I looked at a picture of him when he was a kid, and it looks similar to me as a child as well. It's a bit strange.
Oh, wow.
Not sure if it's a coincidence. I kind of feel it's making sense to me more as I get older now.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Did he have a birthmark?
No, the way he died, like
Oh,
on the
Oh,
head.
see, he got hit on the head, did he?
Oh, I
Something like
see.
that, or- Yeah.
Birthmark.
Say about birthmarks, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
we died in the previous life.
Yeah. Right.
So did he?
Yeah.
What did he die of then, Luke? Was he hit on the head or fell over? What? How did he die?
He blew his brains out in suicide. The gun
Oh.
on the head.
Okay.
Could be the exit wound. It could be on my head.
Sure.
Such a
And
shame.
then-
I really liked his music.
It's funny, isn't it? They have the whole world at their feet, don't they? And then
They've
that
got everything.
moment, it's like that singer Amy Winehouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that girl was some out of this world singer. You know, I loved her music, and yet, you think, well, why? Why so young? The whole world is at your feet. She'd have gone on for years and years being as famous as she was, and yet it came to a sadly tragic end.
Yeah.
Just a combination of lots of things, isn't it? And then your mind's just not in the right place. So, yeah.
I think sometimes these people get so big so quickly, they don't know how to handle. Because if you think about it, when you're rich and famous, you can't go out anywhere, can you? Your whole life is changed. You can't walk down the street without being mobbed by the press, or it's like any of the royal family. You can't nip off down the budgeons, can they, and get a loaf of bread because everybody would know who they are. And it must be like all these famous singers, isn't it? They go out shopping, but everybody's mauling them. It must be quite very difficult to deal with having a life where you can move around quite freely and people don't bat an eyelid at you, to suddenly becoming rich and famous and everybody knows you and everybody wants a part of you.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for freedom, isn't there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we all wish to be rich and famous, but do we?
No, I don't.
Things,
Let's have the money, but I don't know if I want the fame bit, because like you say.
it, isn't it? You don't mind the money because it sorts a lot of things out, but whether it's got to be famous, I'm not so sure. Every time you go, oh, can you sign this? Snap pictures of you driving down the road, pictures of you going in your house or going to the gym or it's quite an invasion, isn't it? Really, you can see why these people
Mm.
do this. Sadly, isn't it? Because it must be no way out.
Yeah.
What else, Luke? So you think you might be him, or what other indications have you had?
Not sure. Just recently, the birthmark thing just kind of clicked. The way he died, and it reminds me of the way. It's just strange. I don't know.
Have you looked into it then a bit more, or have you just left it at that?
I'm not sure what to look for. Is
Right.
At his history, have you look at his history, where he was born, his place, and all that lot?
I know about that. Yeah, I know about a lot. I know quite a bit about him. Yeah,
Was he a local lad, Luke, or
in America.
was American? Yeah, I know
Yeah,
he was American, but he was never over here. Sort
yeah,
of local.
Redden Festival. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not too far away then.
Mm.
Strange, isn't it? I know that, like we say about the birthmarks, they say that's where we die from a previous life, but
Yeah.
who knows? It's one of them mind-blowing things you probably never find the answer to, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Can you
And
play the
nothing
guitar?
else. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did
Can you
play
play the
guitar.
guitar?
Yeah, I was guitar in a
Ah.
band once. Yeah, it was once. Yeah,
Ah, wow.
I have an interest in singing as well. I quite like to sing as well.
You play the guitar, Luke?
Yeah,
I
you
used
should
to years
play it.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Did
play
you
any of
learn
his
it?
stuff?
Was that? I
Can you play any of his songs?
think I did at one point. I think I did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And did you learn the guitar on your own, or you just knew how to play it?
And my friend taught me, and I went lessons at school as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? How you've gone that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mate, we should wonder, doesn't it, whether our lives are mapped out, or our journeys, shall I say, that are mapped out
Mm.
in certain ways. Is that because of the previous life that we were in, is way it's mapped out in this life, or it sort of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why would I be a mechanic? I don't know, really. I think I don't know, really. I think when I left school, I really wanted to join the Air Force because I was in what they call the ATC, the Air Training Corps, when I was at school, and I really wanted to go in the Air Force because my grandfather was in the Air Force, and I was always heading down that way, but I never did. I ended up being a mechanic, a welder, and all the bits that my body now regrets in later life, the hammering and banging and the welding. But I don't know whether our lives are mapped out, that we end up following these lives, because in a previous life it's mapped out for us. Whether we come back to learn a lesson or teach someone, or I don't know. You're getting right into deep thought, aren't you? Really, when you're heading into that way,
Mm.
it can be mind blowing, can't it? Anyway, that's really good. Well done, Angela. That was really interesting. I enjoyed that, and I definitely will be going. I need to go get some answers.
Yeah.
It's the thing, you just want some answers, don't you?
Mm.
Anyway, coming up Saturday, we have a theatre in Portsmouth, the Groundlings. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes, it's the Groundlings Theatre in Portsea, Portsmouth. Dates back to 1784. It started off as a school for poor boys, and then a few years later they introduced poor girls as well. I've been there a few times in the past. I think one of my most treasured photos is like the top half of a skull in the upstairs fireplace. When I spoke to the gentleman who is the caretaker there, I think he actually owns the place, and I told him about my photo. He said, "Oh, what they used to do is they used to send little children up the chimneys to sweep them, and if they got stuck, they just had to leave them there."
Oh wow!
So I'm like, "Oh, I'd like to maybe see who this skull was, and maybe sort of like have the picture ready so that I can sort of show it to them and say, look, this is the picture I got. Is it any of you? You know, is this any of you? So I'd like to explore that one a little bit more. But yes, there's lots of children there. We were in one of the rooms upstairs, and it's like a dressing room. We were all sitting around in a circle on the floor, and we were playing Ring a Ring of Roses music. But now we've got all the gadgets that play Ring a Ring of Roses. We're playing Ring a Ring of Roses. I think it was off YouTube or something.
Oh,
And
right.
it was quite late into the night. We all sitting. It's in the dark, all sitting around a circle, and we could hear the children running around the outside of our circle. It was
wow.
possibly the most incredible experience I've ever had. But lots of children, lots of fun. There's also a dressing room as well, which is, you know, it's another fun bit. But yeah, lots. It's not huge, but it dates 1784, I think. Is it 1784? But yes, lots and lots of children. So if you can think of any trigger objects, anything that would attract children, then and there's also one of the teachers, I believe, is buried in the car park as well, which used to be the
Okay.
garden,
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
in an unmarked grave. But yes, any good experiments or anything that you think would entice them out to come and play with us, then that would be great.
They told me.
Wow. Is it just how many floors? Is it over one floor or balcony or
It's two.
two
It's just
floors?
like a ground floor with a bar area, a dressing room. It's been a few years since I went there. And then upstairs there's like a big hall with a stage, and then there's some like dressing rooms up there. So yeah, that's from what I can remember. But yeah, there's plenty to explore. It's
Nice.
not huge, but it is very active.
Yeah.
I think Graham Bentley, that was one of the very first ones that he came on.
Okay.
We had this big pram. We got this big pram moving, and that's where the pram idea came from.
Ah.
Um,
We've
so,
got some little rocking horses and little chairs, and
oh, nice. Yeah, I see
so
them. That's a really clever idea, isn't it? If you get
hopefully
them
we'll
to
get
play.
something.
Yeah, that's a clever idea, isn't it? See if you fix a camera on them, so when you're not there, whether they move when you're
Yeah,
not there. Maybe we just fit a camera
there's some
and
little
just look.
dolls or something.
Yeah.
Sean Woodward's come in, and he's going to bring his elephant, which was
Oh,
very good at wimmering. That went off
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
But yes, anything that you think would entice children in the 1700s. We have to think of what, maybe balls and things like that. Well, we've got
Yeah.
lots of balls, haven't we, that we can use?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? You've got to go back to their time. You put modern equipment like my Robbie robot. You know, they probably wouldn't know what that was, would they? You know, but you've got to think how they think, haven't you? Like you say, rocking horses and
I guess you
wooden
could put
balls.
put a little dress on it and a wig.
I could tend to knock up a dress.
Get one of the little grandkids' dresses, you know, on their teddy bear dresses or doll dresses, and put it on there.
I said I'd help with it, but getting dressed up as a girl was not my scene, I'm afraid. I am not putting a dress on. No, I can't wait. It's interesting
Yeah, and
to
it's
get
good
there.
to get together as well. It's good to get together with everybody.
Yes. Yeah, get back together again and start. And
Yeah.
what others have you got coming up after that one, Julia?
We've got Shepton Mallet at the end of September, which is a sleepover, 12 hours of ghost hunting. I've never been ghost hunting there. I've been there during the day, so I believe Paul's been there. I think Luke's been there during the day.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Can't wait to do that one. September, October, we've got Shaw House at the end of October. That's the Halloween ghost hunt. Nothing in November at the moment. Beginning of December, we've got the HMS Warrior.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think that's about £56 each. So that's and you can pay by deposit. So you can pay a little bit now and then pay the rest later. Really looking forward to that one. We've done boats in the past, but I don't think we've ever done anything quite as magnificent as HMS Warrior. Absolutely amazing. We're very excited about that one. Beginning of January. Oh gosh, 4th of January we have the convent again. So
Oh, nice.
just after New Year, get New Year's Eve celebrations out the way, and then we're at the convent.
Nice.
We've managed to get secure that one again. End of January, we are at Bombay Sapphire up here in Laverstoke. February, where are we in February? We are somewhere in February. We've also got Northfort coming up, and we've got sleepover with breakfast at Oxford Castle in June. I'm completely lost. I don't know what I'm doing for next year. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure I got something for February. Did I have something for February? Oh, that's it. The Devizes Town Hall. That was the week before Halloween, but we've had to move that to February now. So I think that's at the end of February. So lots of very exciting things coming up.
Yes, and we also need to go back to our favourite place and
Yeah.
do a bit there, won't we? All of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once it's all quietened down from the summer and maybe
Mm.
September or whatever, I think I saw that in the chat. Somebody put that forward. Maybe because all of us should be back from holidays. Because next week we're back down the caravan, so I'll be live from Hampshire. So, and then obviously next Monday we should have Haunted Souls on from America. So I'll be contacting them this week about getting them ready for the link and get Andrew to send a link to them and get them on. So if you're watching now or catch up, send the questions in, come on and ask them questions. They very kindly decided to come on. They're very busy with their ghost hunts events and that they hold, and they help host with other teams. So come on and ask them, where's their favourite locations, and I think you'll be surprised where they say, you have the normal ones we think of, but some of the ones they, I don't know if anybody's heard of Hill House in America. Very, very haunted house, massively haunted. Nobody stays there. It's that bad. But I think they've done that. Oh, they've done all sorts, Gettysburg and all sorts of different battlefields, and really interesting. Really, really interesting. So come on next week and listen to them. Hopefully we can get it all set up. We'll still wait. We'll have the lady that does the past life regression. We'll see when she's available to come on. The other two, we're just waiting for confirmation to come back. So I've emailed them. So I'm just waiting for them to give us a secure date, get them on to have a chat.
About the Gettysburg battlefields, that's a big interest of mine. If you go on to YouTube and you put it in YouTube, all the different bits of footage that they've caught of like supposedly ghostly sightings, it's really interesting. I would definitely recommend going through YouTube and looking at the Gettysburg battlefield ghostly sightings there.
Yeah, when I was on their podcast and they were asked you like, where would you like to go in America? Waverly Hills Sanatorium was one, and I said to him Gettysburg, and he said that's the most amazing place because when you're there, you see shadows of people running through the trees, and they see soldiers walking along the road in the old Civil War uniforms, and he said it's just absolutely amazing place. So that's definitely on your bucket list, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. If I can get over there, I will.
Especially if you're interested in that Civil War, because during the American Civil War there was a gunpowder mill in Epsom called Yule Court, and that used to hold all the gunpowder for the American Civil War. There, at Yule Court, it got blown up 2 or 3 times, if I'm right, because they were grinding the gunpowder with marble stones, and of course they get a spark off it because one was marble, one was granite, grinding stones, and of course once you got a spark off of it, it just blew the top off. It's quite a few people killed 3 times. I think it's 2 or 3 times it happened, but it's in this place called Yule Court, and it's the gunpowder mill. The outbuilding still stays there, but it's like the one you went. Where was that? Where did you go?
Chilworth. Chilworth, yeah.
Oh, there as well. Because I think you had an interesting night there, didn't you?
Yeah, it's really good there. Yeah,
Good interaction, wasn't it, Luke?
yeah. And someone said to me, "There's a snail, like a massive snail figure, and that's where a little girl died." They said to me the other day. It's a memorial for her.
Oh, we wondered what that was, didn't we?
Yeah, Amy's friends the other day told me about it.
Oh,
What's that, inside or outside, is it? Or
just as you're walking along in the woodland.
The snail, yeah.
Big
That's a
one, isn't
wooden
it?
snail.
Big. Yeah, massive. By the water, isn't there? There's a bit of water there, but then, do you know what I mean? Wasn't there? Yeah.
So that may be a place for us to go as well, while we're on a bit of downtime, a bit of investigation there, and our normal favourite place.
Activity started literally within seconds at Chilworth. Didn't expect that at all.
No.
Do you think it's ever been done before there, or not?
I know my friend she's got a little family run ghost hunting thing where they just go take themselves off and do like outdoor ghost hunting. She's been on some of our events. Rosie, she's been there a few times.
Does she go with her mum?
No, she goes with her husband and the children. The
It's not the
children
one
are
I-
like adults, but yeah.
Right. All right. So maybe the wife asked to go in there one night and have a go there, see what's going on.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it was a good location, wasn't it, to find? You know, we go to our normal place where we go all the time, but sometimes, you know, you go into a different location, just builds the energy up again because it's slightly different. You're not sure what's going on or where you are and that type of thing, and it makes it all that much better, the investigation, doesn't it? Because nobody's familiar with it. Normal places we go, we're quite familiar, aren't we? With the surroundings and what goes on, and when you go to somewhere different, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you don't know the surroundings. You know, like you say, as soon as you walked in, off it went. So it's obviously quite pleased for someone to be there, wasn't it? Whatever was in there. So, and being next to the river or whatever, you know, they say that makes it more active anyway, doesn't it? Because spirit travel up and down the water, use the water anyway to travel. So, anyway, no questions tonight? All quiet?
All quiet.
All night, didn't they? So we'll be back Monday with a bit of the ghost hunt from Saturday, and hopefully we'll have it will be well the Americans on there. So please come on, send the questions in. Come on, ask them the questions, and it'll be a pleasure to answer it. So about 8:15 our time will be about 2:15 in the afternoon. There, you can ask them their time. They're nice couple. I think Luke's watched them. They're really nice couple.
Yeah.
They broadcast from a haunted location anyway, so you can ask them about what goes on and in their location if there are bangs and taps and things moving about. So it'll be interesting. So if we have no questions or nobody have anything else to say tonight, no. Okay. Only remains for us to say good night. Have a very, very safe week. I hope it's interested in Angela's past life regression. It's an absolutely amazing journey that we'd all like to have a go one day and see what we come back with. So it only remains for me to say have a safe week and we'll see you all soon. Bye.